Once upon a time, in a land where the sky was always blue and the flowers always bloomed, there lived a cheerful sunbeam named Sunny. With her golden rays and infectious laughter, Sunny danced across the sky, spreading warmth and joy wherever she went. One day, as Sunny danced her way through the clouds, she spotted a group of children playing in a meadow below. Intrigued by their laughter and smiles, Sunny decided to join in their fun. With a twirl and a giggle, Sunny descended from the sky, her rays shimmering like golden threads as they touched the earth. The children looked up in wonder as Sunny's warmth enveloped them, filling their hearts with joy. "Hello, little ones," sang Sunny, her voice as bright as her rays. "Would you like to dance with me?" The children's eyes sparkled with excitement as they nodded eagerly. They took Sunny's warm rays in their hands and began to dance and spin, their laughter echoing through the meadow like music. As they danced, Sunny's rays grew brighter and more vibrant, filling the meadow with a dazzling display of color and light. The flowers swayed in time with the music, their petals opening wide to bask in Sunny's warmth. For hours, the children danced with Sunny, their hearts filled with delight and wonder. And as the sun began to set and the sky turned pink and orange, they knew that they had experienced a magical moment they would never forget. As Sunny bid the children farewell and returned to the sky, she knew that her dance with them had brought more than just warmth and light. It had brought happiness, friendship, and a sense of wonder that would stay with them forever. And so, as Sunny continued her journey across the sky, she danced with renewed energy and joy, her laughter echoing through the clouds and her rays casting a golden glow upon the world below. For wherever there was laughter and light, there was Sunny, the laughing sunbeam, spreading rays of delight wherever she went. In a tranquil garden at the edge of a bustling village, there lay a Zen sand garden tended by an old monk named Master Wu. With his weathered hands and serene smile, Master Wu dedicated his days to cultivating peace and harmony within the garden's simple beauty. One sunny morning, as the birds sang their sweet melodies and the breeze danced through the trees, a curious young girl named Emiya wandered into the garden. Mesmerized by the intricate patterns etched into the sand, Emiya watched in wonder as Master Wu carefully raked the grains into graceful curves and swirls. "Welcome, young one," greeted Master Wu, his voice as gentle as a whispering breeze. "Are you drawn to the patterns of the sand?" Emiya nodded eagerly, her eyes sparkling with curiosity. "Yes, Master Wu," she replied. "The way the sand moves and flows is so mesmerizing. How do you create such beautiful patterns?" Master Wu smiled knowingly. The patterns of the sand are like the patterns of life," he explained. "They are created not by force or haste, but by patience, mindfulness, and a deep understanding of the natural flow of things." With a graceful sweep of his hand, Master Wu demonstrated how to rake the sand, showing Emiya how to create gentle ripples and swirling patterns that mirrored the movement of the wind and the water. As Emiya practiced alongside Master Wu, she felt a sense of peace and tranquility wash over her, as if the worries of the world were melting away with each stroke of the rake. She realized that in the simple act of tending to the garden, she could find solace and serenity amidst life's chaos. As the day turned to dusk and the sky painted itself in hues of orange and pink, Emiya sat with Master Wu on a wooden bench overlooking the garden, watching as the patterns of the sand shifted and changed in the fading light. "Life is like the patterns of the sand, Emiya," said Master Wu, his eyes reflecting the wisdom of ages. "It is ever-changing and full of movement, but if we learn to embrace the natural flow of things and find peace within ourselves, we can create beauty and harmony wherever we go." With a newfound understanding of the Zen sand garden and the patterns of life, Emiya bid Master Wu farewell and returned to the village, her heart filled with a sense of calm and clarity. And as she drifted off to sleep that night, the gentle ripples of the sand danced in her dreams, reminding her that in the midst of life's uncertainty, there is always beauty to be found in the patterns of motion and the stillness within. In a quaint village nestled at the foot of a grand mountain, there bloomed a breathtaking cherry blossom tree named Sakura. With its delicate pink petals and sweet fragrance, Sakura brought joy to all who beheld its beauty. Each year, as spring arrived, the village celebrated the blossoming of Sakura with a grand festival known as the Joyful Cherry Blossom Festival. One spring morning, the villagers gathered beneath the blooming branches of Sakura, their faces filled with excitement and anticipation. Music filled the air as musicians played cheerful tunes, and the scent of delicious treats wafted through the crowd. Among the villagers was a young girl named Emi, her eyes shining with excitement. Emi had always loved the Cherry Blossom Festival, with its vibrant colors and festive atmosphere. But this year, she had a special surprise in store for the village. As the festival began, Emi stepped forward, holding a handful of cherry blossom petals in her hands. With a mischievous smile, she tossed the petals into the air, watching as they danced and twirled on the breeze. The villagers gasped in awe as the petals soared through the sky, their delicate beauty creating a mesmerizing spectacle. Children laughed and chased after the petals, their laughter blending with the joyful music of the festival. But the true magic happened when the wind picked up, carrying the petals high into the air. As they fluttered and swirled in the wind, they created a breathtaking display of color and movement, like a symphony of petals dancing in the sky. Emi watched with delight as the villagers danced and twirled beneath the swirling petals, their faces glowing with happiness. It was a moment of pure joy and celebration, a moment that would be remembered for years to come. As the sun began to set and the festival came to a close, Emi knew that she had shared something truly special with her village. The joyful Cherry Blossom Festival had brought the community together in a celebration of beauty, friendship, and the wonders of nature. And as Sakura stood tall and proud, its branches heavy with blossoms, Emi knew that the spirit of the festival would live on in the hearts of the villagers, filling their lives with joy and happiness for many seasons to come. In a lush green meadow nestled between rolling hills, there lived a contented turtle named Toby. While other creatures of the meadow hurried about their day, Toby embraced a slower pace, taking each moment as it came with patience and grace. Toby's plod was slow and steady, his shell adorned with intricate patterns that mirrored the winding paths he traveled. Though some may have considered him slow, Toby found great joy and contentment in the simple pleasures of life. One bright morning, as the sun peeked over the horizon and painted the meadow in shades of gold, Toby set out on his daily plod. As he ambled along the familiar paths, he paused to admire the beauty of a blooming flower or to bask in the warmth of the sun's rays. But as Toby continued on his journey, he noticed a frantic hare named Harry darting past him, his eyes filled with determination as he raced towards an unseen finish line. Toby watched with curiosity as Harry disappeared into the distance, leaving a trail of dust in his wake. Feeling a pang of self-doubt, Toby wondered if perhaps he should try to move faster, to keep pace with the swift creatures of the meadow. But then, he remembered the wisdom of his elders, the tale of the tortoise and the hare. With a renewed sense of confidence, Toby continued on his plod, embracing his slow and steady pace with pride. For he knew that while the hare may run swiftly, it is the tortoise who endures, reaching the finish line with patience and perseverance. As the day turned to dusk and the stars began to twinkle overhead, Toby arrived back at his humble burrow, his heart filled with contentment and peace. For in embracing his true nature and embracing the slow and steady pace of life, Toby had discovered a joy and contentment that could not be rushed or hurried. And as he retreated into the safety of his burrow, Toby closed his eyes with a smile, knowing that he would continue his plod with patience and grace, finding joy in each moment along the way. For in the end, it is not the speed at which we move, but the journey itself that brings us true happiness and fulfillment. In the heart of a serene garden, there stood a magnificent Zen arch crafted from polished stone, its graceful curves reaching towards the sky like the outstretched wings of a bird. This tranquil archway marked the entrance to a place of peace and tranquility, where the whispers of the wind mingled with the gentle rustle of bamboo leaves. Legend had it that whoever passed through the Zen Arch would be transported to a realm of serenity and inner calm, where worries melted away like morning dew in the warmth of the sun. But to truly experience the tranquility beyond, one had to first find peace within. One bright morning, a curious young squirrel named Sora stood before the Zen Arch, her eyes wide with wonder at the beauty that lay beyond. She had heard tales of the Arch's magical powers and longed to experience the serenity it promised. As Sora gazed at the Arch, she felt a sense of peace wash over her, as if the stone itself were whispering words of comfort and reassurance. With a deep breath, she stepped forward, crossing the threshold into the garden beyond. Instantly, Sora felt a wave of calm wash over her, soothing her restless spirit and quieting the chatter of her mind. The air seemed to hum with a gentle energy, and the colors of the garden seemed to glow with a soft, ethereal light. As she wandered through the garden, Sora encountered a wise old tortoise named Taro, who had made his home beneath the shade of a gnarled cherry tree. Taro greeted her with a gentle nod, his eyes twinkling with ancient wisdom. "Welcome, young one," said Taro, his voice as steady as the earth itself. "You have crossed the threshold of the Zen Arch and entered a realm of peace and tranquility. But remember, true serenity comes from within." Sora listened intently as Taro shared his wisdom, his words sinking deep into her heart like roots anchoring a tree. She realized that the tranquility she sought could not be found in the external world, but only by cultivating a sense of peace and harmony within herself. With Taro's guidance, Sora spent the day meditating beneath the cherry tree, her mind quiet and still like the surface of a calm pond. As the sun dipped below the horizon and the stars twinkled overhead, she felt a deep sense of gratitude for the lessons she had learned and the peace she had found within the tranquil garden. And as she passed back through the Zen Arch, her heart filled with serenity and her spirit light as a feather, Sora knew that she carried the essence of the garden with her wherever she went. For the true gateway to serenity lay not in a stone arch, but in the quiet depths of her own soul. In the heart of a lush forest, there stood a majestic willow tree known as the Whispering Willow. Its branches reached towards the sky, adorned with leaves that shimmered like emerald jewels in the sunlight. But it wasn't just the beauty of the Whispering Willow that enchanted the creatures of the forest. It was the wisdom it shared through its rustling leaves. One crisp autumn morning, a curious fox named Felix wandered near the Whispering Willow. He had heard tales of the tree's wisdom and longed to learn its secrets. Approaching the tree, Felix noticed the leaves gently swaying in the breeze, as if whispering to each other. Intrigued, he sat down beneath the branches and listened intently. "Tell us your troubles, dear creatures of the forest," whispered the leaves in a soft, melodious voice. "For we are here to listen and offer guidance." Felix watched in amazement as animals of all shapes and sizes approached the Whispering Willow, seeking its counsel. A timid rabbit shared her fears of the approaching winter, a squirrel asked for help finding food for her family, and a lost bird sought directions back to her nest. With each plea, the Whispering Willow's leaves rustled and danced, weaving tales of hope, courage, and resilience. They spoke of the changing seasons, the importance of community, and the strength that comes from facing challenges together. Inspired by the tree's wisdom, Felix spoke up, sharing his own worries and doubts. He talked about his fear of the unknown and his uncertainty about the future. The leaves of the Whispering Willow listened intently, their gentle rustling filling the air with a sense of calm and reassurance. Then, in a soothing voice, they spoke to Felix. "Dear Felix," they whispered, "the future may be uncertain, but it is also full of endless possibilities. Embrace each day with courage and curiosity, knowing that you are never alone. Just as the forest relies on the wisdom of the trees, so too can you rely on the support of those around you." With these words echoing in his heart, Felix felt a sense of peace wash over him. He thanked the Whispering Willow for its guidance and bid farewell to the forest, knowing that he carried its wisdom with him wherever he went. From that day on, whenever Felix faced a challenge or felt lost, He would remember the lessons of the whispering willow and find comfort in the knowledge that, like the leaves of the tree, he was never truly alone. And in the quiet moments of the forest, he would hear the whispers of the leaves, sharing their secrets of wisdom and guiding him on his journey through life. In a quiet corner of a peaceful garden, there lay a tranquil Zen pebble garden, where the gentle rustle of bamboo leaves mingled with the soothing sound of trickling water. At the heart of this serene space, there resided a wise old turtle named Tao, who tended to the garden with care and patience. Each day, Tao would spend hours arranging the pebbles in intricate patterns, creating circles of harmony that mirrored the balance and tranquility of the natural world. With each stroke of his claw, he infused the garden with a sense of peace and serenity that could be felt by all who entered. One sunny morning, a curious young rabbit named Hoppy hopped into the Zen pebble garden, his eyes wide with wonder at the beauty that surrounded him. He watched in amazement as Tao carefully arranged the pebbles, creating patterns that seemed to dance and swirl before his eyes. "Good morning, young one," greeted Tao, his voice as gentle as the breeze. "What brings you to our humble garden?" Hoppy hopped closer, his curiosity piqued. "I've never seen anything quite like this before," he admitted, his ears twitching with excitement. "What are you doing?" Tao smiled kindly at the young rabbit. "I am creating circles of harmony," he explained. "Each pebble represents a part of the natural world, and by arranging them in patterns, I seek to bring balance and tranquility to the garden." Hoppy's eyes sparkled with fascination as he watched Tao work. "Can I help?" he asked eagerly, his heart filled with a desire to learn. Tao nodded, his wrinkled face crinkling with a smile. "Of course, young one," he said, "but remember, true harmony comes from within. It is not just about arranging pebbles, it is about finding balance and peace in all aspects of life." With Tao's guidance, Hoppy spent the day arranging pebbles in the Zen garden, his movements slow and deliberate as he sought to capture the essence of harmony. As he worked, he felt a sense of calm wash over him, filling his heart with a newfound sense of peace. As the sun began to set and the garden glowed with the soft light of dusk, Hoppy and Tao sat together in silence, gazing out at the circles of harmony that stretched before them. In that moment, they knew that true peace could be found not just in the garden, but within themselves, in the balance and tranquility that comes from living in harmony with the world around them. And as the stars twinkled overhead and the night descended upon the garden, Hoppy and Tao knew that their friendship and the circles of harmony they had created would continue to bring peace and tranquility to all who entered the Zen Pebble Garden, now and forevermore. In a serene corner of the countryside, there flowed a gentle river bordered by lush greenery and towering trees. Along its banks lay the reflective riverbank, where the water murmured secrets of the world, and the whispers of nature could be heard. One bright morning, a curious squirrel named Sammy scurried along the riverbank, his bushy tail twitching with excitement. Sammy loved nothing more than exploring the wonders of the natural world, and today, he was drawn to the tranquil riverbank, eager to discover its mysteries. As he hopped from stone to stone, Sammy paused to gaze into the clear waters of the river. There, he saw his reflection staring back at him, his bright eyes reflecting the beauty of the world around him. "Hello, little squirrel," whispered the river, its voice as gentle as a breeze. "What brings you to my shores on this fine day?" Startled, Sammy looked around, searching for the source of the voice. "Who's there?" he asked, his voice trembling with wonder. "I am the river," replied the water, its voice soothing and wise. "And I have been here since the beginning of time, watching over the land and all who dwell upon it." Sammy's eyes widened with amazement. "Wow," he exclaimed, "I had no idea the river could talk." The river chuckled softly. "There is much you have yet to learn, little one," it said. "But if you listen closely, you will hear the stories of the world whispered in the ripples of my waters." Intrigued, Sammy settled himself on the riverbank, his ears perked up as he listened to the gentle murmurings of the water. He heard tales of distant lands and ancient forests, of creatures big and small, and of the cycle of life that flowed like the river itself. As the sun began to set and the shadows grew long, Sammy felt a sense of peace wash over him. He realized that there was much to be learned from the reflective riverbank lessons of patience, wisdom, and the interconnectedness of all things. With a grateful heart, Sammy bid farewell to the river, knowing that he would return again to contemplate its mysteries and listen to its stories. And as he scampered back into the forest, his mind filled with the wonders of the natural world, Sammy knew that he had found a place of solace and reflection in the tranquil embrace of the riverbank. In a peaceful forest nestled between rolling hills, there lay a tranquil morning glade, where the air was always crisp and the meadows were adorned with dew-kissed grass. This glade was a haven of serenity and beauty, where nature's symphony played out in the soft rustle of leaves and the gentle chirping of birds. One misty morning, as the sun peeked through the trees, a young fawn named Lily ventured into the tranquil morning glade. With her delicate features and graceful stride, Lily felt at home among the whispering trees and dew-kissed meadows. As she wandered through the glade, Lily marveled at the beauty that surrounded her, the delicate flowers that bloomed along the forest floor, the shimmering spider webs that glistened with dew, and the golden sunlight that filtered through the canopy above. But amidst the beauty of the glade, Lily sensed a deep sense of peace and tranquility, a feeling that washed over her like a warm embrace, filling her heart with a sense of calm and contentment. As she lay down among the dew-kissed meadows, Lily closed her eyes and listened to the sounds of the forest, the gentle rustle of leaves, the soft hum of insects, and the distant call of a songbird. In that moment, she felt connected to the world around her, as though she were a part of something greater than herself. As the sun rose higher in the sky and the mist began to dissipate, Lily knew that she would always carry the memory of the tranquil morning glade with her, a memory of beauty, serenity, and the simple joys of nature. And as she ventured back into the forest, her heart filled with gratitude for the moments of peace and tranquility that the glade had given her. Lily knew that she would return to the tranquil morning glade whenever she needed a reminder of the beauty and wonder that surrounded her. In a peaceful meadow, where wildflowers danced and butterflies fluttered, there lay a single white feather known as the Zen feather. Light as a whisper and delicate as a dream, the Zen feather drifted gracefully on the breeze, its journey guided by the gentle touch of the wind. As the Zen feather floated through the air, it passed by a curious young rabbit named Rosie, with her soft fur and bright eyes. Rosie watched in wonder as the feather danced and twirled above her head, its movements like a graceful dance in the sky. "Hello, little feather," called out Rosie, her voice filled with curiosity. "Where are you going on this beautiful day?" The Zen feather paused in its drift, hovering in the air before Rosie like a silent messenger from the heavens. "I'm going wherever the wind takes me," whispered the feather, its voice as soft as a summer breeze. "For I am but a humble traveler, guided by the flow of the universe." Rosie's eyes widened with awe at the feather's words. "That sounds like quite the adventure," she said. "I wish I could drift on the breeze like you." The Zen feather nodded thoughtfully. "You can, dear Rosie," it said, "for the true adventure lies not in the destination, but in the journey itself. Close your eyes, feel the wind on your face, and let yourself be carried away by the beauty and wonder of the world around you." Inspired by the feather's wisdom, Rosie closed her eyes and lifted her face to the sky, feeling the gentle caress of the wind against her fur. In that moment, she let go of her worries and fears, allowing herself to be carried away on the breeze like a leaf on a river. Together, Rosie and the Zen feather drifted through the meadow, their spirits lifted by the joy of the moment. They danced and twirled among the wildflowers, their laughter echoing through the air like the sweetest melody. And as the sun began to set and the sky turned pink and gold, Rosie knew that she had experienced a true moment of Zen, a moment of peace, beauty, and connection with the world around her. For in the end, it wasn't the destination that mattered, but the journey of the Zen feather's drift, floating on the breeze, and the journey of Rosie's heart, open to the wonders of the universe. In a tranquil forest, there stood a magnificent grove of bamboo known as the Whispering Bamboo Grove. Tall and graceful, the bamboo swayed gently in the breeze, their rustling leaves creating a symphony of whispers that echoed through the forest. At the heart of the Whispering Bamboo Grove, there lived a wise old panda named Pema. With fur as white as snow and eyes as deep as the ocean, Pema was revered by all the creatures of the forest for her wisdom and serenity. One day, a curious young rabbit named Remy ventured into the Whispering Bamboo Grove, his heart racing with excitement. As he wandered among the towering bamboo, he felt a sense of peace wash over him, as though he had entered a world untouched by time. Suddenly, Remy heard a soft voice drifting through the grove, like a gentle breeze through the trees. "Welcome, young one," said the voice. "I am Pema, guardian of the Whispering Bamboo Grove. What brings you to this sacred place?" Startled, Remy turned to see Pema emerging from the shadows, her eyes twinkling with warmth and kindness. "I seek wisdom and stillness," replied Remy, his voice barely above a whisper. "I wish to understand the secrets of this grove and learn to find peace within myself." Pema nodded thoughtfully. "Then you have come to the right place, young one," she said. "For the Whispering Bamboo Grove holds the key to stillness and serenity, if only you know where to look." With Pema as his guide, Remy embarked on a journey of self-discovery, learning to quiet his mind and listen to the whispers of the bamboo. He learned to breathe deeply and move with the rhythm of the forest, allowing himself to be carried away by the gentle currents of stillness and peace. As the days passed, Remy found himself growing more attuned to the whispers of the bamboo, his heart opening to the beauty and wonder of the world around him. And as he sat beneath the rustling leaves, surrounded by the wisdom of Pema and the Whispering Bamboo Grove, he knew that he had found the stillness he had been searching for, a stillness that would stay with him always, like a hidden treasure waiting to be discovered anew each day. In the vast expanse of the ocean, where the waves danced and the sun cast its golden rays upon the azure waters, there lived a compassionate dolphin named Marina. With her sleek, silver body and playful spirit, Marina was beloved by all the creatures of the sea for her kindness and her enchanting songs that echoed through the depths. One day, as Marina swam gracefully through the ocean, she heard a faint cry for help echoing from the depths below. Without hesitation, she dove down, her heart pounding with concern. There, tangled in a mess of discarded fishing nets, was a young sea turtle named Toby. His eyes were filled with fear and despair as he struggled to free himself from the entanglement. Marina's heart went out to Toby, and with a gentle touch of her fin, she began to untangle the nets, careful not to harm him in the process. With each careful movement, she sang a soft, soothing melody, filling the water with her compassionate song. As Marina worked tirelessly to free him, Toby's fear began to melt away, replaced by a sense of calm and trust. With one final tug, Marina released him from the nets, and Toby swam free, his gratitude shining in his eyes. "Thank you, Marina," said Toby, his voice filled with awe. "Your song gave me hope when I thought all was lost." Marina smiled warmly at Toby. "It was my pleasure to help," she said. "For in the ocean, we are all connected, and it is our duty to look out for one another." From that day forth, Marina's compassionate song echoed through the ocean, guiding lost souls to safety and bringing comfort to those in need. And though she was just one dolphin in a vast sea, her kindness and her song touched the hearts of all who heard it, reminding them that even in the darkest depths, there is always light and hope to be found. In the heart of a lush forest, nestled among swaying trees and vibrant flowers, there lay a hidden gem known as the Tranquil Butterfly Pond. This pond was not just a body of water. It was a sanctuary of serenity and beauty, where colorful butterflies danced among the delicate lily pads. At the center of the tranquil butterfly pond stood a magnificent weeping willow tree, its graceful branches dipping down to touch the shimmering surface of the water. Beneath its canopy, the pond sparkled like a jewel in the sunlight, reflecting the beauty of the world around it. One sunny morning, a young girl named Lily stumbled upon the tranquil butterfly pond while exploring the forest with her dog, Buddy. Mesmerized by the sight of the butterflies flitting and fluttering above the water, Lily felt a sense of wonder wash over her. As she approached the edge of the pond, Lily noticed her reflection in the still water, her eyes wide with excitement. But as she watched, the reflection began to change, morphing into that of a beautiful butterfly with delicate wings of shimmering blue and gold. "Hello, Lily," chimed a soft voice from above. Startled, Lily looked up to see a majestic monarch butterfly hovering before her, its wings glistening in the sunlight. "I am Aurora, the guardian of the tranquil butterfly pond," said the butterfly. "Welcome to this magical place, where beauty abounds and dreams take flight." With Aurora as her guide, Lily and Buddy spent the day exploring the tranquil butterfly pond, marveling at the colorful butterflies and shimmering water. They watched as the butterflies dipped and danced above the pond, their reflections creating a kaleidoscope of colors on the surface below. As the sun began to set and the sky turned pink and orange, Lily felt a sense of peace wash over her. She realized that the tranquil butterfly pond was more than just a place of beauty. It was a place of reflection and transformation, where dreams could take flight and imaginations could soar. And as she watched the butterflies flit and flutter into the fading light, Lily knew that she would always carry the magic of the tranquil butterfly pond with her, a reminder of the beauty and wonder that surrounded her in the world. In the heart of a dense forest, there lay a winding path known as the reflective forest path. This path was not like any other. It was a journey of self-discovery and enlightenment, where travelers sought wisdom amidst the whispering trees and dappled sunlight. At the entrance of the reflective forest path stood a wise old oak tree, its gnarled branches stretching out like arms to welcome those who dared to tread its path. Beneath its shade, the path meandered through the forest, leading travelers on a journey of introspection and growth. One bright morning, a young fox named Finn set out to explore the reflective forest path. With each step he took, Finn felt a sense of calm wash over him, as though the trees were whispering secrets of the universe just for him. As he walked, Finn encountered various obstacles, fallen branches, tangled roots, and steep inclines, each one testing his resolve and pushing him to dig deeper within himself. But with each challenge, Finn grew stronger and more determined to continue his journey. Along the way, Finn met a wise old owl named Ollie, who perched upon a branch overlooking the path. "Greetings, young traveler," hooted Ollie. "What brings you to the reflective forest path?" "I seek enlightenment," replied Finn, his voice filled with determination. "I wish to understand myself and my place in the world." Ollie nodded thoughtfully. "Then you are in the right place, young one," he said. For the reflective forest path is a journey of self-discovery, where every step brings you closer to understanding the mysteries of the universe. With Ollie's words in mind, Finn continued his journey along the reflective forest path, his heart filled with hope and determination. And as he walked, he began to notice the beauty and wonder of the world around him, the gentle rustle of leaves, the sweet song of birds, and the soft caress of sunlight filtering through the trees. With each passing moment, Finn felt a sense of peace and clarity wash over him, as though he were becoming one with the forest itself. And as he reached the end of the reflective forest path, Finn knew that he had taken the first steps towards enlightenment, the journey that would continue to unfold for the rest of his days. In a quaint meadow nestled amidst rolling hills, there lived a contented cricket named Chester. Each evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Chester emerged from his burrow to serenade the meadow with his melodious chirps, earning him the nickname the Contented Cricket. Chester's songs were not just random chirps. They were a symphony of the evening, weaving through the air like a gentle breeze and filling the meadow with warmth and tranquility. One day, as Chester sang his evening serenade, he noticed a group of animals gathered around him, their eyes filled with wonder and admiration. "Your songs are beautiful, Chester," said a curious rabbit named Rosie. "But why do you sing every evening?" Chester paused his song and smiled at Rosie. "I sing to bring joy and peace to the meadow," he explained. "My songs help soothe weary hearts and remind us all of the beauty of the evening." Rosie tilted her head in understanding. "But what if it's difficult to find joy when things seem bleak?" Chester's smile widened, and he resumed his song, his chirps ringing out with even more warmth and sincerity. "Even in the darkest of nights, there is beauty to be found," he replied. "Just listen to the song of the crickets, the whisper of the breeze, and the rustle of the leaves. They are all reminders that life goes on, and joy can always be found if we take the time to listen." Moved by Chester's words, Rosie and the other animals sat in silence, listening to the soothing melody of the evening. And as they watched the sun set below the horizon, they felt a sense of peace wash over them, knowing that even in the midst of uncertainty, there was comfort to be found in the serenade of the contented cricket. From that day forth, whenever Rosie or the other animals felt weary or troubled, they would listen for Chester's evening serenade, knowing that his songs would always bring them comfort and joy, and remind them of the beauty that surrounded them in the meadow. In a quiet corner of a bustling village, there lay a serene and stone garden. This garden was not like any other. It was a place of peace and contemplation, where villagers sought solace amidst the chaos of daily life. At the heart of the Zen stone garden stood an ancient oak tree, its branches reaching toward the sky like outstretched arms. Beneath its shade, a collection of smooth, polished stones lay scattered across the ground, each one carefully chosen and placed with intention. One day, a young girl named Emiya wandered into the Zen stone garden, her mind troubled by worries and fears. She watched as villagers carefully arranged the stones, creating intricate patterns and designs that seemed to dance in the sunlight. Intrigued by the garden's beauty, Emiya approached an elderly villager named Master Wu, who was known for his skill in the art of stone arrangement. "Master Wu, why do you arrange the stones in this way?" asked Emiya, her eyes filled with curiosity. Master Wu smiled and motioned for Emiya to sit beside him. "Each stone in the garden represents a thought or emotion," he explained. "By arranging them with care and intention, we can create harmony and balance within ourselves." As Emiya watched, Master Wu began to rearrange the stones, placing them in a pattern that mirrored the natural flow of the river. With each movement, he seemed to enter a state of deep concentration, his movements fluid and graceful like a dancer. "Through the act of arranging stones, we learn to quiet the mind and find peace within," said Master Wu, his voice gentle like a whisper on the wind. "Just as the stones find their place in the garden, so too can we find tranquility amidst the chaos of life." Inspired by Master Wu's words, Emiya decided to try her hand at stone arrangement. With each stone she placed, she felt a sense of calm wash over her, as though the worries of the world had melted away. And as she stepped back to admire her creation, Emiya realized that true tranquility was not found in the absence of chaos, but in the acceptance of it, in knowing that no matter how turbulent life may seem, there is always beauty to be found in the simple act of arranging stones in the Zen stone garden. In a tranquil monastery nestled atop a misty mountain, there lay a serene Zen rock garden. This garden was not just a place of beauty. It was a sanctuary of peace and tranquility, where monks sought refuge from the chaos of the world. At the heart of the Zen rock garden stood a towering mountain of stones, carefully arranged in perfect harmony. Each stone represented a challenge or obstacle in life, and the garden served as a reminder that balance could be found even in the midst of chaos. One day, a young monk named Koji found himself feeling overwhelmed by the demands of his training. As he sat in the garden, his mind filled with worrying and doubt, he longed for guidance on how to find balance amidst the chaos. To his surprise, the wise old abbot approached him with a gentle smile. "Come, Koji," he said, gesturing towards the mountain of stones. "Let me show you the way to finding balance." Together, they sat amidst the stones, and the abbot began to rearrange them with slow, deliberate movements. With each stone he moved, he explained the importance of patience, mindfulness, and acceptance in finding balance in life. As Koji watched the abbot work, he felt a sense of calm wash over him. He realized that just as the stones in the garden could be rearranged to find harmony, so too could the challenges in his own life be overcome with patience and perseverance. From that day forth, Koji approached each obstacle in his path with a newfound sense of calm and clarity. He embraced the teachings of the Zen rock garden, finding balance amidst the chaos of his training and discovering a sense of inner peace that he had never known before. And as he sat amidst the stones, watching the sun set behind the misty mountains, Koji knew that he had found his true path, a path of balance, harmony, and enlightenment. In a peaceful forest, there stood a majestic willow tree known as the Whispering Willow. Its branches reached out like open arms, offering solace and comfort to all who sought refuge beneath its leafy canopy. This tree possessed a special gift, the ability to listen and respond to the whispers of those who shared their troubles. One day, a young girl named Lily found herself feeling lonely and lost. She wandered through the forest, her heart heavy with worrying and sadness. As tears streamed down her cheeks, she stumbled upon the Whispering Willow. Feeling a pull toward the gentle tree, Lily approached and leaned against its trunk, seeking solace in its embrace. To her surprise, she heard a soft, comforting voice rustling through the leaves, like a gentle breeze through the branches. "Tell me your troubles, child," whispered the Whispering Willow. "I am here to listen and offer comfort." With a heavy heart, Lily poured out her worries and fears to the tree, sharing her deepest thoughts and feelings. She spoke of her loneliness, her struggles, and her longing for peace and happiness. As she spoke, the Whispering Willow listened intently, its branches swaying gently in the breeze as though nodding in understanding. And when Lily had finished speaking, the tree responded with words of wisdom and comfort, like a soothing melody that eased her troubled mind. "Remember, dear one," whispered the Whispering Willow, "even in the darkest of times, there is always light to be found. Look to nature for solace and strength, and you will find the courage to face whatever challenges come your way." Inspired by the Whispering Willow's words, Lily wiped away her tears and took a deep breath, feeling a sense of calm wash over her. She knew that she was not alone, that the Whispering Willow would always be there to offer comfort and guidance whenever she needed it. From that day forth, whenever Lily felt lost or afraid, she would return to the Whispering Willow, seeking solace in its embrace and finding comfort in the gentle whispers of nature. And as she walked through the forest, she knew that she carried with her the wisdom and strength of the Whispering Willow, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, there is always hope to be found in the embrace of nature's love. In a peaceful valley nestled between rolling hills, there lay a quaint village where the morning mist danced gracefully among the trees. This mist, known as the Whispering Morning Mist, had a special gift. It carried with it hints of serenity that soothed the souls of all who breathed it in. Every morning, as the sun rose over the horizon, the Whispering Morning Mist would rise from the ground, enveloping the village in a soft, ethereal embrace. It whispered secrets of peace and tranquility to those who were willing to listen, filling their hearts with a sense of calm and contentment. One day, a young girl named Lily ventured into the misty forest, drawn by its mysterious allure. As she walked among the trees, she felt the cool touch of the mist on her skin, and she closed her eyes, allowing its gentle whispers to wash over her. "Lily," whispered the Whispering Morning Mist, its voice as soft as a gentle breeze. "Open your heart to the serenity that surrounds you." Lily listened intently, her heart open to the wisdom of the mist. With each breath, she felt a sense of peace wash over her, like a warm embrace from an old friend. As she wandered deeper into the forest, Lily came upon a tranquil pond, its surface shimmering in the morning light. She sat down beside the water and watched as the mist danced across its surface, weaving intricate patterns in the air. In that moment, surrounded by the beauty of nature and the whispers of the whispering morning mist, Lily felt a deep sense of connection to the world around her. She realized that true serenity could be found not in the busyness of everyday life, but in the quiet moments of reflection and contemplation. From that day forth, whenever Lily felt overwhelmed by the challenges of the world, she would return to the misty forest, allowing the whispering morning mist to guide her back to a place of peace and tranquility. And in those moments of quiet contemplation, she would find the strength and courage to face whatever lay ahead, knowing that she was never truly alone. And so, the legend of the whispering morning mist lived on in the hearts of all who visited the misty forest, a reminder that amidst the chaos of the world, there is always a hint of serenity waiting to be found for those who are willing to listen. In a quiet corner of the countryside, there lay a sunlit meadow where wildflowers danced in the gentle breeze. This meadow was no ordinary place. It held within its embrace the secrets of serenity, whispered by the wind and carried on the sun's golden rays. At the heart of the whispering sunlit meadow stood a solitary oak tree, its branches reaching skyward like outstretched arms. Beneath its shade, animals of all kinds sought refuge from the heat of the day, their eyes filled with wonder at the tranquility that surrounded them. One afternoon, a young girl named Ella stumbled upon the whispering sunlit meadow while exploring the countryside. Entranced by the beauty of the scene before her, she stepped into the meadow, feeling the soft grass tickle her bare feet. As she wandered through the meadow, Ella noticed a gentle rustling in the air, like the murmur of voices carried on the wind. She closed her eyes and listened, allowing the whispers to wash over her like a soothing melody. "Welcome, little one," whispered the wind, its voice soft and gentle as a summer breeze. "You have come to learn the secrets of serenity." Ella's eyes widened in amazement as she realized that she was not alone in the meadow. The very air itself seemed to be alive with the sound of whispers. "What are the secrets of serenity?" asked Ella, her voice barely louder than a whisper. The wind chuckled softly. "The secrets of serenity lie within you," it replied. "They are found in the quiet moments of reflection, in the beauty of nature, and in the love and kindness you share with others." Inspired by the wind's words, Ella closed her eyes and breathed in the scent of wildflowers that filled the air. In that moment, she felt a sense of peace wash over her, like a warm embrace from an old friend. From that day forth, whenever Ella felt overwhelmed by the chaos of the world, she would return to the whispering sunlit meadow, allowing the whispers of the wind to guide her on her journey to serenity. And as she wandered through the meadow, she knew that she was never truly alone, for the secrets of serenity were always there to comfort and guide her on her path. In a sleepy village nestled among rolling hills, there lived a group of raindrops known as the Laughing Raindrops. Each time they descended from the heavens, they brought with them not just rain, but laughter and joy that danced along with their gentle pitter-patter. One sunny afternoon, as the villagers went about their daily tasks, the laughing raindrops gathered in the clouds above, eager to begin their descent. They giggled and chattered amongst themselves, excited to spread their infectious merriment to the earth below. As they fell, tumbling and twirling through the air, the laughing raindrops couldn't contain their joy. They laughed and sang, their voices mingling with the rustle of leaves and the chirping of birds. Down below, the villagers looked up at the sky and smiled as the rain began to fall. Instead of seeking shelter, they stepped outside, welcoming the laughing raindrops with open arms. "Listen," exclaimed a young girl named Lily, her eyes sparkling with delight. "The raindrops are laughing," and indeed, as the laughing raindrops tapped joyfully on the earth, their laughter filled the air, lifting the spirits of all who heard it. The villagers danced and twirled in the rain, their laughter mingling with the joyful chorus of the raindrops. For hours, the laughing raindrops danced and played, spreading their contagious laughter far and wide. And when the rain finally stopped and the sun emerged from behind the clouds, The villagers returned to their homes, their hearts lighter, and their smiles brighter than before. From that day forth, whenever the clouds gathered and the laughing raindrops began their descent, the villagers would step outside to greet them, knowing that their laughter brought not just rain, but a sense of joy and wonder that filled their souls with warmth and happiness. And so, the legend of the laughing raindrops lived on in the hearts of the villagers, a reminder that even in the darkest of storms, there is always laughter to be found, tapping joyfully on the earth and bringing light to even the dreariest of days. In the heart of a tranquil forest, there lay a shimmering lake known as the reflective moonlit lake. Each night, when the moon rose high in the sky, its gentle glow would illuminate the surface of the lake, transforming it into a mirror that captured the beauty of the night sky above. One evening, as the moon cast its silvery light across the lake, a young fox named Finn came to visit its shores. Entranced by the ethereal beauty of the scene before him, he sat down beside the water and gazed up at the sky. As he watched the stars twinkle overhead, Finn couldn't help but feel a sense of wonder and awe. What makes the lake so reflective? He wondered aloud, his voice barely louder than a whisper. To his surprise, a voice answered him from the depths of the lake. "It is not just the water that reflects the light of the moon, young one," said the voice, its tone as soft as the rustle of leaves in the wind. "It is also the reflections of your own thoughts and feelings." Startled, Finn looked down at the lake and saw his own reflection staring back at him. But instead of seeing just his physical appearance, he saw the thoughts and emotions that swirled within him, his hopes, his fears, his dreams. "Who are you?" Finn asked, his curiosity piqued. "I am the spirit of the reflective moonlit lake," replied the voice. "I am here to show you the beauty of your own reflections and help you understand the depths of your own heart." With the spirit's guidance, Finn began to explore the reflections within the lake, delving deep into his own soul to uncover the truths that lay hidden within. He saw moments of joy and moments of sorrow, moments of courage and moments of doubt. But through it all, he saw the beauty of his own journey, illuminated by the light of the moon and reflected in the waters of the lake. And as he gazed upon his reflections, Finn felt a sense of peace and acceptance wash over him, knowing that he was exactly where he was meant to be. From that day forth, whenever Finn visited the reflective moonlit lake, he did so with a sense of reverence and gratitude. For he knew that within its waters lay the key to unlocking the mysteries of his own heart and discovering the true beauty of his own reflections. In the azure waters of the vast ocean, there swam a pod of dolphins led by a compassionate leader named Luna. Luna was known throughout the ocean for her boundless empathy and unwavering kindness towards all creatures, great and small. One day, as Luna and her pod frolicked in the waves, they encountered a stranded sea turtle struggling to free itself from a tangle of fishing nets. The other dolphins hesitated, unsure of how to help, but Luna dove into action without hesitation. With graceful movements and gentle nudges, Luna worked tirelessly to untangle the sea turtle, her heart filled with compassion for the creature's plight. And when at last the sea turtle was free, it swam away with a grateful flip of its flipper, leaving Luna feeling a sense of warmth and fulfillment. From that day on, Luna made it her mission to help those in need, whether they were dolphins in distress or creatures from distant lands. She traveled far and wide, spreading acts of kindness and compassion wherever she went, her pod following in her wake. One stormy night, as Luna and her pod navigated through treacherous waters, they encountered a lost group of whales, separated from their family by the raging currents. Sensing their fear and confusion, Luna dove beneath the waves and guided the whales to safety, her compassionate spirit shining like a beacon in the darkness. As the whales reunited with their family and disappeared into the depths of the ocean, Luna felt a sense of satisfaction wash over her. She knew that she had made a difference in the lives of those whales, just as she had done for countless others before them. And as Luna and her pod continued their journey through the ocean, their hearts filled with empathy and their spirits lifted by the knowledge that they were making the world a better place, one act of kindness at a time. For Luna understood that true compassion wasn't just about helping others. It was about embracing empathy and understanding, and recognizing that we are all connected by the vast ocean of life. And as long as she continued to swim with compassion in her heart, Luna knew that she would always be guided by the light of empathy, illuminating the path for others to follow. In a serene valley nestled between towering mountains, there stood a tranquil stream where the most extraordinary pebbles lay scattered along its banks. Among them was a wise and serene pebble named Zen. Zen, unlike the other pebbles, possessed a remarkable talent. He could balance himself upon the tiniest of surfaces with grace and poise. He saw the world as a series of delicate balances, and he spent his days teaching this philosophy to the other pebbles. One day, as the sun rose over the valley, Zen noticed a group of young animals gathered by the stream. They were watching him with wide eyes, intrigued by his remarkable balancing skills. "Good morning, young friends," Zen greeted them with a gentle smile. "What brings you to my humble abode?" The animals, eager to learn from Zen's wisdom, explained their struggles with finding balance in their own lives. The rabbit worried about balancing schoolwork with playtime, the squirrel fretted over balancing gathering nuts with resting, and the deer pondered how to balance exploring the world with staying close to family. Zen listened intently to their concerns, his smooth surface reflecting the morning sunlight. Then, with a knowing twinkle in his eye, he began to teach them the art of balance. "Balance is not about doing everything equally at all times," Zen explained, his voice as calming as the babbling stream. "It is about understanding your priorities and allocating your time and energy accordingly." With Zen's guidance, the animals learned to prioritize their tasks and responsibilities, finding harmony between work and play, effort and rest, and independence and connection. As the days passed, the animals began to apply Zen's teachings to their daily lives. The rabbit learned to focus on her studies during the day and enjoy playtime with friends in the evening. The squirrel discovered the importance of taking breaks between gathering nuts to recharge his energy. And the deer found that he could explore the world around him while still staying connected to his family. Inspired by Zen's wisdom, the animals began to see the world with newfound clarity. They realized that life was like a delicate pebble tower, requiring patience, mindfulness, and a steady hand to maintain its balance. And so, with Zen's guidance, the animals learned to navigate the ups and downs of life's balancing act with grace and ease, knowing that as long as they stayed true to themselves and their priorities, they would always find their equilibrium in the ever-flowing stream of life. In a secluded valley, hidden away from the hustle and bustle of the world, there existed a magical grove known as the Tranquil Cherry Blossom Grove. Here, amidst a canopy of delicate pink petals, peace and serenity reigned supreme. Each spring, as the cherry blossoms burst into bloom, the air was filled with a sweet fragrance that carried with it a sense of tranquility. The gentle rustle of the leaves and the soft chirping of birds created a symphony of calm that soothed the souls of all who wandered through the grove. One day, a young girl named Emmy stumbled upon the Tranquil Cherry Blossom Grove while exploring the forest. Mesmerized by the beauty of the blossoms, she felt a sense of peace wash over her, like a warm embrace from an old friend. As Emiya wandered deeper into the grove, she came upon a clearing where a majestic cherry blossom tree stood tall and proud, its branches heavy with blossoms. Beneath the tree sat an elderly woman, her eyes closed in quiet meditation. "Hello, young one," greeted the woman, her voice soft and gentle as a whisper of wind through the trees. "Welcome to the Tranquil Cherry Blossom Grove." Emiya smiled warmly at the woman and sat down beside her, feeling a sense of calm wash over her. "It's so beautiful here," she whispered, her eyes shining with wonder. The woman nodded in agreement. "The cherry blossoms are a symbol of peace and renewal," she explained. "They remind us to embrace the beauty of the present moment and let go of our worries and fears." Inspired by the woman's words, Emiya closed her eyes and listened to the gentle rustle of the leaves and the soft chirping of birds. In that moment, she felt a deep sense of peace wash over her, like a gentle wave lapping at the shore. From that day forth, whenever Amia felt overwhelmed by the challenges of life, she would return to the tranquil cherry blossom grove, allowing the beauty of the blossoms to fill her heart with peace and tranquility. And as she wandered through the grove, she knew that she was never truly alone, for the blossoms were always there to guide her on her journey and remind her of the beauty of the world around her. Once upon a time, in a lush green meadow, there lived a small caterpillar named Camille. Camille was quite content munching on leaves all day, basking in the warm sunlight, and dreaming of the adventures that lay beyond the meadow. One sunny morning, as Camille crawled along a leafy branch, she noticed a group of butterflies fluttering gracefully overhead. Mesmerized by their colorful wings and graceful movements, Camille couldn't help but feel a pang of longing in her heart. "Oh, how I wish I could soar through the sky like those butterflies," she sighed, her tiny voice barely louder than a whisper. But Camille's wish seemed impossible. After all, she was just a lowly caterpillar, bound to the earth by her many tiny legs. Yet, deep down, a spark of curiosity flickered within her. Days turned into weeks, and as summer faded into autumn, Camille noticed a subtle change within herself. Her once plump body began to shrink, and a strange sensation stirred in her heart. She knew it was time for a transformation. Embracing her newfound purpose, Camille spun herself a cozy cocoon, nestled among the branches of a tall oak tree. Inside her silky sanctuary, she surrendered herself to the mysteries of change, trusting in the wisdom of nature to guide her. Weeks passed in a blur of darkness and stillness. Then, one glorious morning, Camille felt a gentle stirring within her cocoon. With a burst of energy, she wriggled free from her silky confines, her body transformed into something wondrous and new. Camille emerged from her cocoon not as a humble caterpillar, but as a breathtaking butterfly, her wings painted in the most magnificent shades of blue and gold. She fluttered her delicate wings, feeling the exhilarating rush of freedom coursing through her veins. With newfound joy and confidence, Camille took to the skies, dancing among the clouds and savoring the sweet nectar of flowers. She soared higher and higher, her heart filled with gratitude for the journey that had led her to this moment of transformation. As Camille flew over the lush green meadow, she spotted a group of caterpillars munching on leaves below. With a graceful swoop, she descended upon them, eager to share her wisdom. "My dear friends," she called out, her voice ringing with joy, "embrace the changes that life brings, for within every transformation lies the promise of something beautiful and new." And so, inspired by Camille's tale of courage and resilience, the caterpillars embarked on their own journeys of transformation, knowing that within each of them, a magnificent butterfly waited to emerge and soar. In a tranquil pond nestled amidst a peaceful meadow, there lived a group of skipping stones known as the joyful skipping stones. Every morning, as the sun rose over the horizon, they would awaken from their slumber at the bottom of the pond, eager to embark on another day of adventure. Led by Skipper, the bravest and most agile of the stones, they would skip and dance across the surface of the water, leaving ripples of laughter in their wake. Each stone had its own unique shape and personality, but they all shared a love for the simple joy of skipping across the pond. One day, a young frog named Freddy watched in awe as the joyful skipping stones danced across the water. Enthralled by their graceful movements, he longed to join them in their playful games. "Wait for me," called Freddy, leaping from his lily pad into the water with a splash. But try as he might, he couldn't skip across the surface like the joyful skipping stones. Skipper, noticing Freddy's struggle, swam over to him with a friendly smile. "Don't worry, little friend," said Skipper, his voice as smooth as polished stone. "Skipping takes practice and patience, but with a little determination, anyone can learn." With Skipper's guidance, Freddy began to practice skipping across the water. At first, he stumbled and splashed, his hops falling short of the graceful arcs made by the joyful skipping stones, but he didn't give up. Day after day, Freddy practiced tirelessly, honing his skills and perfecting his technique. And little by little, he began to improve. His hops became higher and smoother, and soon he was skipping across the pond with ease. As Freddy joined the joyful skipping stones in their games, he felt a sense of belonging unlike anything he had ever known. Together, they laughed and danced across the water, their spirits soaring with the joy of friendship and adventure. And so, the days turned into weeks, and the weeks turned into months. With each passing day, Freddy grew stronger and more confident, his bond with the joyful skipping stones deepening with every skip across the pond. And though the seasons changed and the years passed, the laughter of the joyful skipping stones echoed through the meadow, a testament to the enduring power of friendship and the simple joy of dancing across the water. In the heart of a lush forest, hidden away from the hustle and bustle of the world, there existed a magical waterfall known as the Tranquil Waterfall. Its waters cascaded down from the heights of the mountains, shimmering like liquid crystal in the sunlight. And like other waterfalls that roared and thundered, the Tranquil Waterfall flowed with a gentle serenity that soothed the souls of all who came near. Its tranquil waters whispered secrets of peace and wisdom to the creatures of the forest, filling their hearts with a sense of calm. One day, a curious young fox named Felix stumbled upon the tranquil waterfall as he wandered through the forest. Entranced by the sight of the shimmering waters, he approached cautiously, his senses alive with wonder. As Felix drew nearer to the waterfall, he felt a sense of peace wash over him, like a warm embrace from an old friend. The sound of the cascading water was like a gentle lullaby, lulling him into a state of blissful relaxation. "Hello, young one," came a soft voice from the mist that surrounded the waterfall. Startled, Felix looked around, searching for the source of the voice. "Do not be afraid," the voice continued, its tone gentle and reassuring. "I am the spirit of the tranquil waterfall, and I have been watching over this forest for generations." Felix's eyes widened with amazement. He had heard tales of the spirits that inhabited the natural world, but he had never imagined he would encounter one himself. "What is your name, young fox?" asked the spirit, its voice echoing like the gentle rustle of leaves in the wind. "I am Felix," replied the fox, his voice barely a whisper. "I have heard of your waterfall and the peace it brings to all who come here." The spirit smiled warmly. "Indeed, the tranquil waterfall is a place of serenity and tranquility," it said. "But remember, young Felix, true peace comes from within. It is not enough to seek it in the outside world, you must learn to find it within yourself." With those words of wisdom, the spirit of the tranquil waterfall faded away, leaving Felix alone with his thoughts. As he sat by the waterfall, listening to the gentle music of its waters, he closed his eyes and breathed deeply, letting go of his worries and fears. From that day forward, whenever Felix felt overwhelmed by the challenges of life, he would return to the tranquil waterfall, allowing its peaceful waters to wash away his troubles and fill his heart with serenity. And in those moments of quiet reflection, he would find the strength and courage to face whatever lay ahead, knowing that true peace could always be found within the depths of his own soul. In a sun-kissed meadow, where wildflowers swayed in the gentle breeze and butterflies danced among the tall grass, there lay a magical place known as the Laughing Meadow. This meadow was not just a patch of land, it was a haven of joy and laughter, where creatures of all kinds gathered to frolic in blissful harmony. At the heart of the Laughing Meadow lived a merry rabbit named Rosie. Rosie's laughter was as infectious as her boundless energy, and she was beloved by all the creatures of the meadow. Every day, Rosie could be found hopping and skipping through the grass, her laughter ringing out like bells in the air. One sunny morning, as Rosie bounded through the meadow, she encountered a solemn-faced turtle named Timothy. Timothy was known for his slow and steady pace, but today he seemed unusually glum. "What's wrong, Timothy?" asked Rosie, her ears perked up with concern. Timothy sighed heavily, his shell weighing heavily on his back. "I just can't seem to find my joy today, Rosie," he confessed. I feel like I'm stuck in a shell of sadness. Rosie's heart went out to her friend, and she knew she had to do something to lift his spirits. With a mischievous twinkle in her eye, she whisked Timothy away to the heart of the laughing meadow, where the air was filled with the sound of laughter and joy. Close your eyes and listen, Timothy, Rosie said, her voice filled with excitement. Listen to the laughter of the meadow, the rustle of the leaves, and the chirping of the birds. Can't you feel the joy all around us? Timothy closed his eyes and listened, and as the sounds of the meadow washed over him, a smile spread across his face. He felt the warmth of the sun on his back and the soft grass beneath his feet, and for the first time in a long while, he felt a glimmer of joy stirring within him. With Rosie by his side, Timothy began to hop and skip through the meadow, his laughter joining hers in a symphony of joy. Together, they chased butterflies and danced among the wildflowers, their hearts lighter than they had ever been before. As the sun dipped below the horizon and the stars began to twinkle in the night sky, Rosie and Timothy sat side by side in the laughing meadow, their laughter echoing through the air like music. Thank you, Rosie, said Timothy, his eyes shining with gratitude. You've shown me that joy can be found in the simplest of moments, if only we take the time to look. Rosie smiled, her heart brimming with happiness. That's what friends are for, Timothy, she said. To remind each other that joy is never far away, if only we open our hearts to it. And as they watched the moon rise high above the laughing meadow, Rosie and Timothy knew that no matter what challenges lay ahead, they would always find solace and joy in the laughter of the meadow, where happiness bloomed like wildflowers in the sun. In a land where the clouds kissed the highest peaks, there stood a majestic mountain known as Reflective Peak. Its towering summit seemed to touch the sky itself, and its sides were adorned with glistening snow and shimmering ice. But what made Reflective Peak truly special was not its height or its beauty, but its ability to reflect the thoughts and feelings of those who dared to climb its slopes. Many adventurers sought to conquer the mountain, drawn by tales of its mystical powers. One day, a young climber named Maya set out on a journey to scale Reflective Peak. Determined and brave, she faced the challenges of the mountain with unwavering resolve, her heart filled with dreams of reaching the summit. As Maya ascended higher and higher, the air grew thinner, and the winds grew stronger. Yet, she pressed on, driven by the desire to prove herself and unlock the secrets of the mountain. But as Maya climbed, doubts began to creep into her mind. What if she wasn't strong enough to reach the top? What if she failed? These thoughts weighed heavily on her spirit, threatening to hold her back. As Maya approached the final stretch of the climb, she found herself standing before a sheer cliff face, its icy surface gleaming in the sunlight. Fear gripped her heart, and for a moment, she hesitated. But then, she remembered the stories of Reflective Peak and its ability to mirror the thoughts and feelings of those who climbed it. Drawing on her courage and determination, Maya looked deep within herself and found the strength to continue. With each step, Maya felt her fears melting away, replaced by a sense of calm and clarity. She focused all her energy on the task at hand, channeling her inner strength into each movement. And finally, after what seemed like an eternity, Maya reached the summit of Reflective Peak. As she stood atop the highest point, gazing out at the world below, she felt a sense of accomplishment unlike any she had ever known. But it was not just the physical feat of reaching the summit that filled Maya with pride. It was the journey she had taken within herself, facing her fears and doubts head-on and emerging stronger for it. As Maya descended from Reflective Peak, she carried with her a newfound sense of confidence and self-assurance. And though the mountain remained as majestic and mysterious as ever, Maya knew that she had reached new heights not just in elevation, but in spirit. And so, the story of Maya and Reflective Peak became a legend, inspiring countless others to face their own challenges with courage and determination, knowing that within every obstacle lies the opportunity for growth and transformation. In the heart of a tranquil forest, there lay a serene lake with waters so clear that they acted as a mirror to the world above. This lake was known far and wide as the reflective lake surface, where the ripples of truth danced upon its glassy surface. One sunny afternoon, a young fox named Finn stumbled upon the reflective lake surface while exploring the forest. Intrigued by the shimmering waters, Finn peered into the lake, expecting to see only his own reflection staring back at him. But instead, Finn saw something unexpected: the reflection of his innermost thoughts and feelings, laid bare for all to see. He saw moments of kindness and moments of selfishness, moments of courage and moments of fear, each one reflected in the ever-changing surface of the lake. Startled by what he saw, Finn took a step back, unsure of how to process the truths that had been revealed to him. But as he watched the ripples of truth fade away, he felt a sense of clarity wash over him. With newfound determination, Finn resolved to embrace the truths that had been revealed to him and to live his life with honesty and integrity. He knew that the reflective lake surface held the key to unlocking his innermost potential and guiding him on the path to self-discovery. From that day on, Finn visited the reflective lake surface often, seeking guidance and wisdom in its mirrored depths. And with each visit, he grew wiser and more self-aware, knowing that the truths he found reflected in the lake were a mirror to his own soul. And so, with the reflective lake surface as his guide, Finn embarked on a journey of self-discovery, embracing the truths that lay within him and using them to navigate the twists and turns of life's journey. For he knew that by mirroring his inner truths, the reflective lake surface held the key to unlocking his truest self and living a life filled with purpose and meaning. In the heart of a lush meadow, there nestled a serene pond adorned with vibrant water lily. Each day, as the sun rose above the horizon, the water lily would awaken from their slumber, their petals unfurling to greet the morning light. Among these graceful blooms, there resided a cheerful water lily named Lily. With her vibrant pink petals and golden center, Lily radiated joy and warmth to all who beheld her beauty. One sunny morning, as the pond sparkled like a jewel in the sunlight, Lily felt a sense of excitement bubbling within her. It was the day of the annual pond festival, a time when all the creatures of the meadow would gather to celebrate the beauty and abundance of the water lily pond. As the day wore on, the meadow came alive with the sound of laughter and music as the creatures of the meadow arrived to partake in the festivities. There were frogs croaking merrily by the water's edge, dragonflies flitting gracefully above the surface, and even a family of ducks paddling serenely through the pond. But amidst the revelry, Lily noticed a lone caterpillar named Coco sitting by the water's edge, her eyes filled with longing as she watched the festivities from afar. Sensing Coco's loneliness, Lily swayed gently in the breeze, her petals shimmering with kindness and compassion. "Come join us, Coco," called out Lily, her voice as melodious as the tinkling of wind chimes. "There's plenty of room for everyone to share in the joy of the festival." Coco's eyes widened with surprise at Lily's invitation, her heart filled with gratitude for the water lily's kindness. With a hesitant smile, she crawled forward, her tiny legs trembling with excitement as she joined the festivities. As the day turned to dusk and the stars began to twinkle overhead, Lily watched with delight as Coco danced and laughed with newfound friends, her heart brimming with happiness and belonging. For in the joyful waters of the water lily pond, Coco had found not only friendship but also a sense of belonging that would stay with her forever. And as the night descended upon the meadow and the creatures of the pond drifted off to sleep, Lily closed her petals with a contented sigh, her heart filled with gratitude for the beauty and abundance of the joyful water lily pond, where blooms of bliss flourished in the warm embrace of friendship and love. In a lush garden teeming with life, there lived a contented caterpillar named Cody. With his vibrant green body and curious eyes, Cody spent his days munching on leaves and exploring the wonders of the world around him. Yet, deep within his heart, Cody harbored a dream that fluttered like a delicate butterfly, the dream of soaring through the sky with wings of his own. Each day, as Cody crawled through the garden, he watched in awe as colorful butterflies danced above him, their wings shimmering in the sunlight. He longed to join them in their graceful flight, to feel the wind beneath his wings and the freedom of the open sky. One day, as Cody rested upon a leaf, he confided his dream to a wise old ladybug named Leela, who had watched over him since he was just a tiny egg. "Leela," sighed Cody, "I wish I could fly like the butterflies. I want to see the world from above and feel the joy of the wind in my wings." Leela smiled gently at Cody's words. "Ah, my dear Cody," she said, "your dream is a beautiful one, but remember, true happiness comes from within. You are perfect just the way you are, whether you have wings or not." But Cody couldn't shake the feeling that something was missing. He continued to watch the butterflies with envy, his heart heavy with longing. As the days passed, Cody grew restless, his desire to fly burning brighter with each passing moment. Then, one day, as he gazed up at the sky, he saw something miraculous: a butterfly struggling to free itself from its chrysalis, its delicate wings unfolding like petals in bloom. Inspired by the butterfly's transformation, Cody felt a surge of determination coursing through his tiny body. If the butterfly could emerge from its chrysalis with wings of its own, then surely he could too. With newfound purpose, Cody spun himself a cozy cocoon and settled in for a long rest. Inside his cocoon, he dreamed of soaring through the sky, his wings carrying him to distant lands and unknown adventures. Days turned into weeks, and weeks turned into months, until one sunny morning, Cody felt a strange stirring within his cocoon. With a burst of effort, he pushed his way free, his body transformed into a beautiful butterfly, his wings shimmering with every color of the rainbow. As Cody took to the sky for the first time, he felt a sense of joy and wonder unlike anything he had ever known. He soared through the garden, his heart filled with gratitude for the journey that had brought him to this moment. And as he flew, Cody knew that his dream had finally come true, for in the end, it wasn't the wings that had brought him happiness, but the courage to chase his dreams and the contentment that came from knowing he was exactly where he was meant to be. In the vast expanse of the night sky, there twinkled a radiant evening star named Stella. She was not the brightest of stars, nor the biggest, but her gentle glow held a special magic that captured the hearts of all who beheld her. Each evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and the sky turned to dusk, Stella would appear, casting her shimmering light upon the world below. She was a beacon of hope and guidance, a constant presence in the ever-changing tapestry of the night. One evening, as Stella gazed down upon the earth, she noticed a young fox named Finn wandering through the darkened forest, his eyes filled with uncertainty and fear. Sensing his need for guidance, Stella decided to shine a little brighter, casting a warm glow upon the path ahead. As Finn wandered through the forest, he felt a sense of calm wash over him, as if he were being guided by an unseen hand. He followed the gentle glow of Stella's light, his heart filled with a newfound sense of courage and determination. Along the way, Finn encountered a wise old owl named Orion perched atop a gnarled oak tree. Orion greeted him with a solemn hoot, his eyes sparkling with ancient wisdom. "Welcome, young one," said Orion, his voice as soft as the rustle of leaves in the wind. "You are guided by the light of the evening star, a beacon of hope in the darkness. But remember, true guidance comes from within." Finn listened intently as Orion shared his wisdom, his words resonating deep within his soul. He realized that the light of the evening star was not just a physical beacon, but a reflection of the light that dwelled within him, the light that could guide him through even the darkest of times. With Orion's guidance, Finn continued on his journey, his steps steady and sure as he followed the path illuminated by Stella's gentle glow. And as he ventured deeper into the forest, his heart filled with gratitude for the guidance of the evening star and the wisdom of the wise old owl. As the night wore on and the stars sparkled overhead, Finn emerged from the forest, his spirit light and his heart filled with gratitude. For he knew that no matter where life's journey took him, he would always be guided by the light of the evening star, a beacon of hope and guidance shining bright in the darkness of the night. High above the world, In a fluffy white cloud lived a playful raindrop named Rory, and like other raindrops, Rory was always filled with laughter and joy, eager for the adventures that awaited him as he journeyed from the sky to the earth below. One day, as Rory peered over the edge of the cloud, he felt a gentle breeze whispering through the air, beckoning him to begin his descent. With a gleeful laugh, Rory leapt from the cloud, tumbling and twirling through the sky like a tiny acrobat. As he fell, Rory marveled at the world below, watching as the landscape unfolded beneath him like a patchwork quilt. He saw towering mountains, winding rivers, and sprawling forests, each one a new adventure waiting to be explored. But as Rory neared the earth, he began to feel a sense of trepidation. What if he landed in the wrong place? What if no one noticed him? What if he got lost? But just as doubt began to creep into his mind, Rory heard a voice calling out to him from below. Looking down, he saw a field of sunflowers swaying in the breeze, their bright yellow petals turned towards the sky. "Welcome, little raindrop," called out the sunflowers. "Come join us in our dance." Filled with excitement, Rory landed gently amidst the sunflowers, his laughter echoing through the field like a joyful melody. Together, they danced and played, the sunflowers lifting their faces to the sky as Rory sprinkled them with his refreshing rain. As the sun set and the sky turned pink and gold, Rory knew that he had found his place in the world. No longer afraid of getting lost or landing in the wrong place, he embraced each new adventure with laughter and joy, knowing that wherever he went, he would always find a warm welcome and a new friend to share his journey. And as he danced through the sky, sprinkling the earth with his laughter, Rory knew that he was not just a raindrop, he was a bringer of joy and a symbol of the beauty and wonder of the world. In the heart of a lush, emerald green rainforest, there existed a magical place known as the Laughing Rainforest. Here, among the towering trees and cascading waterfalls, lived a diverse array of creatures, each adding their own unique melody to the symphony of life. At the center of the Laughing Rainforest stood an ancient tree, its branches reaching towards the sky like outstretched arms. Beneath its shade, animals of all shapes and sizes gathered to celebrate the beauty and wonder of their home. One day, as the sun peeked through the dense canopy, a group of young animals gathered around the tree, eager to learn the secrets of the forest. Sensing their curiosity, an old wise owl named Ollie emerged from the shadows, ready to share his wisdom. "Welcome, young ones," hooted Ollie, his voice echoing through the trees like a gentle breeze. "You have come to learn the song of the rainforest, the symphony of life that has been playing since the dawn of time." With a twinkle in his eye, Ollie began to sing, his melodious voice weaving through the air like a river winding through the forest. As he sang, the animals joined in, adding their own unique voices to the chorus. There were chirps and trills from the birds, the rumble of thunder from the mighty jaguars, and the gentle rustle of leaves from the mischievous monkeys. Together, they created a symphony of sound that filled the forest with joy and laughter. As the song reached its crescendo, the animals danced beneath the trees, their laughter ringing out like bells in the breeze. They knew that in the Laughing Rainforest, every creature had a voice and a story to tell, and that together, they were stronger than they could ever be alone. And so, as the sun dipped below the horizon and the stars twinkled overhead, the animals of the Laughing Rainforest continued to sing and dance, celebrating the beauty and wonder of their home and the symphony of life that echoed through the trees for all eternity. In a cozy meadow bordered by swaying trees, there lived a mischievous breeze known as Zephyr. With a playful laugh that danced through the air, Zephyr loved nothing more than to frolic among the leaves, sending them tumbling and twirling in his wake. One crisp autumn morning, as the sun cast its golden glow upon the meadow, Zephyr skipped and twirled through the tall grass, his laughter echoing through the trees. He was joined by his dear friends the leaves, who rustled and danced with delight at his playful antics. "Come, my friends," called out Zephyr, his voice filled with glee. "Let us play among the trees and feel the joy of the wind beneath our wings." With a joyful rustle, the leaves followed Zephyr as he raced through the meadow, weaving between the trees and stirring up a whirlwind of color and laughter. They danced and tumbled in his playful embrace, their laughter mingling with the sound of rustling leaves. But as they frolicked and played, Zephyr noticed a lonely leaf clinging to a branch, its colors fading and its spirit dimming. "Why do you not join us, dear friend?" asked Zephyr, his voice gentle and kind. The leaf sighed softly, its voice barely a whisper on the wind. "I am old and tired," it replied. "I have danced with the breeze for many seasons, but now my time has come to rest." Zephyr's heart ached with sadness at the leaf's words. "But every leaf has a story to tell," he said, his voice soft and comforting, "and your story is not yet over. Come, join us in one last dance, and let your spirit soar with the wind." With a hesitant rustle, the leaf let go of the branch and drifted down to join Zephyr and the other leaves. As they danced and twirled together, the leaf felt a renewed sense of joy and vitality coursing through its veins. For in the laughter of the breeze and the dance of the leaves, the leaf found the strength to embrace its final journey with grace and dignity. And as it floated gently to the ground, surrounded by the warmth of friendship and love, it knew that its spirit would live on in the laughter of the breeze and the playful dance of the leaves, forever and always. In a land where the golden sun kissed the endless horizon, there stretched a vast expanse of ocean known as the reflective ocean. This ocean was not just a body of water. It was a repository of wisdom, where the ebb and flow of the tide carried with it the secrets of the universe. At the heart of the reflective ocean lay a phenomenon known as the reflective ocean tide, a magical occurrence where the waves carried not just water, but also whispers of wisdom that echoed across the surface of the sea. One day, a curious dolphin named Finn set out to explore the reflective ocean, his playful spirit guiding him through the depths. As he swam beneath the surface, he heard the gentle murmurs of the waves, beckoning him closer. Intrigued, Finn followed the sound until he came upon a shimmering pool where the waves danced in the sunlight. As he watched, the waves began to rise and fall, each crest carrying with it a glimmer of ancient wisdom. "Listen closely, young one," whispered the waves, their voices as soft as the sigh of the wind. "For within the ebb and flow of the tide lies the key to understanding the mysteries of the universe." Mesmerized by the waves' words, Finn dove deeper into the pool, allowing the rhythm of the tide to wash over him. With each wave that passed, he felt a sense of clarity wash over him, as though the secrets of the universe were being revealed to him one by one. As he swam, Finn encountered creatures of the sea, wise old turtles, playful seals, and ancient whales, all drawn to the reflective ocean tide in search of wisdom and guidance. Together, they listened to the whispers of the waves, learning from each crest and trough the importance of harmony, balance, and respect for the world around them. And as they swam beneath the surface of the reflective ocean, Finn and his companions realized that true wisdom could not be found in books or scrolls, but in the gentle rhythm of the tide, a reminder that the universe is always speaking to those who are willing to listen. From that day forth, whenever Finn felt lost or uncertain, he would return to the reflective ocean tide, allowing the waves to guide him on his journey and fill his heart with the timeless wisdom of the sea. And as he swam, he knew that he was never truly alone, for the waves were always there to carry him on their crest and whisper their secrets in his ear. In a quiet corner of a bustling city, there lay a serene Zen garden, nestled within the walls of a peaceful temple. This garden was a sanctuary of peace and tranquility, where weary souls could find solace amidst the chaos of everyday life. At the heart of the garden lay a shallow pool of sand, carefully raked into intricate patterns by the temple's monks. This was the Zen Sand Garden, a symbol of harmony and balance, where the ripples of tranquility flowed with every movement of the rake. One day, a young girl named Emiya wandered into the temple, her mind filled with worries and cares. As she gazed upon the Zen Sand Garden, she felt a sense of calm wash over her, like a gentle breeze on a warm summer's day. Intrigued by the beauty of the garden, Amiya approached the pool of sand and watched as the monk carefully raked the surface, creating mesmerizing patterns that seemed to dance before her eyes. "What is the purpose of this garden?" Amiya asked, her voice barely louder than a whisper. The monk smiled warmly at her and gestured towards the ripples in the sand. "The Zen sand garden is a reflection of the mind," he explained. "As we rake the sand, we create ripples that symbolize the thoughts and emotions that flow through us. By tending to the garden, we learn to find peace and tranquility within ourselves." Inspired by the monk's words, Amiya picked up a rake and began to gently trace patterns in the sand. With each movement, she felt a sense of release, as though she were letting go of the worries and cares that weighed heavy on her heart. As Amiya tended to the Zen sand garden, she felt a profound sense of connection to the world around her. She realized that just as the ripples in the sand were fleeting, so too were her worries and fears. In their place, she found a sense of peace and tranquility that she had never known before. From that day forth, whenever Amiya felt overwhelmed by the challenges of life, she would return to the Zen sand garden, allowing the rhythmic movement of the rake to calm her troubled mind. And in those moments of quiet contemplation, she found the strength and clarity to face whatever lay ahead, knowing that she carried within her the seeds of peace and tranquility that would guide her through life's journey. In a lush forest nestled between rolling hills, there stood a majestic redwood grove known for its towering trees and serene beauty. Among these giants of the forest lived a community of redwoods who were revered for their compassion and gentleness towards all creatures. At the heart of the grove, there resided a wise old redwood named Oakley. With his weathered bark and towering stature, Oakley was the leader of the grove, known for his kind heart and wise counsel. One peaceful morning, a young fox named Rosie wandered into the redwood grove, her fur glistening in the dappled sunlight. Curious and in need of guidance, Rosie approached Oakley, hoping to find answers to the questions weighing on her mind. "Good morning, young one," greeted Oakley, his voice as deep as the roots that anchored him to the earth. "What brings you to our humble grove?" Rosie hesitated for a moment before speaking. "I am searching for guidance," she admitted, her eyes filled with uncertainty. "I wish to learn the ways of kindness and compassion, but I do not know where to begin." Oakley nodded understandingly, his branches swaying gently in the breeze. "Kindness and compassion are the foundation of our grove," he said. "They are nurtured through empathy and understanding, and they grow stronger with each act of kindness." With Oakley's guidance, Rosie spent the day exploring the redwood grove, observing the gentle interactions between the trees and the creatures of the forest. She watched as the redwoods provided shade and shelter for birds and squirrels, their branches offering refuge to those in need. As the sun began to set and the forest grew quiet, Rosie felt a sense of peace wash over her. She realized that kindness and compassion were not just words but actions, rooted in the simple act of caring for others. With newfound determination, Rosie bid farewell to Oakley and the redwood grove, knowing that she would carry their lessons of kindness and compassion with her wherever she went. And as she ventured back into the forest, her heart filled with gratitude for the gentle giants of the redwood grove, whose compassion had touched her soul and inspired her to spread kindness wherever she went.